What is going on, guys? Griffin here, coming at you with some Sigrid gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about the newest Rogue Company quality of life survey that they released recently. So let's head over, let's fill it out, let's talk about it. So this is the Rogue Company quality of life survey that they had sent out over on Twitter, and it may be in game currently. I'm not 100% sure, but of course I will leave a link to the survey in the description down below. If you have not filled this out, please fill this out. So just full disclosure for everyone, we were actually sent this survey over on the creator Discord, along with it being tweeted out over on Twitter, and the communication that was given to us was it was important to encourage people to fill this out, not looking for server issues or matchmaking, but specific things that are annoying people that really need to be fixed. And I know that this wasn't properly conveyed, in my opinion, on the Twitter post. That's why I feel comfortable and confident doing it here. And if I'm not supposed to say that, then oh God, sorry. But at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is the developers know that the servers are having issues. The developers know that people are not satisfied with their matchmaking experience, but they're looking at more specific details for people to fill out in this survey, as it gives them some type of focus moving forward. Because, okay, server issues is an issue, right? Of course, matchmaking is an issue, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But first, I want to go ahead and fill this out. So it's two very, very simple questions. What gameplay bugs would you like Rogue Company to address first? And what small feature or quality of life change would you like to see? So as you can see here, I got this filled out. So for the bugs that I would like to see them address that has been affecting me specifically has been hit detection issues, guns not firing, getting stuck with gadgets in hand, and not seeing enemy utility indicators. For the small features or quality of life changes that I would like to see, cover smoothed out on maps, auto mantle toggle, not going to let it go, looking at perks for allies and enemies, and also ghost peeking. So with these, I think they're very straightforward, and I think that they affect a lot of people in various different ways. Hit detection issues have been happening more frequently as of the last couple of updates. I notice it more specifically on weapons that have been adjusted. So before it was the SMGs, whenever they were tweaking those massively. Now I'm seeing it with the assault rifles. If the trend continues, then I assume that we will see it on light machine guns. Shotguns, I was having some hit detection issues with the S12, but it seems that that has been smoothed out quite a bit. And then with the pistols, there was some weird kind of hit detection issues that I was having with the Executioner, but it seems like that has been smoothed out as well. With the guns not firing, I mean, this is something that pops up, goes away, pops up, goes away, and it's something that when you're in a clutch position where you are trying to fire your weapon in a close quarters engagement, like if it happens across map or long range, it's not as big of a deal because your life isn't in immediate danger. But whenever you are in a close quarters combat situation and your gun is not firing, then that is a massive problem, and it causes a lot of frustration in players. Getting stuck with the gadgets in hand, this has been happening a lot more here recently, and I'm not really sure what is causing this to happen. At first I thought it was like being EMP'd or hacked. That doesn't seem to be the issue. It seems to be something more surrounding this, where you get stuck with your hand in the backwards position like you're ready to throw a baseball, and it just won't leave your hand. You can't swap to another weapon. It just stays bugged out until you inevitably die. That is not something that is fun to play around. At that point, you might as well just feed yourself into the enemy. And last up on the bugs issues, not seeing enemy utility indicators. Now this is something that I've been seeing kind of sporadically, but it is something that is very much a problem whenever you're not getting the proper information that you need on your HUD, on your screen while you're trying to do whatever objective you're trying to do. If there's someone that threw a grenade nearby and you have a grenade indicator that is white, and then whenever the grenade explodes, it kills you, that is a problem. If there is a grenade or a piece of utility that is nearby and you don't get any indicators whatsoever, then that is a problem. All of these kind of feed into a very similar thing where it's like, if you can't shoot your weapon if you can't throw your utilities, if you can't see the enemy utility, and then you also get hit detection issues, then it all feeds into a very miserable play experience. On the other side, the quality of life changes that I would like to see: cover smoothed out on the maps. I know that this is more of a me issue. I know a lot of people encounter these issues where you crouch behind something and for whatever reason it will not allow you to stand up as if something is directly above you, and this seems to affect me and a lot of other mouse and keyboard players more frequently because I use the C button to crouch and I use spacebar to stand up. Also, spacebar is the jump button. So there's a weird interaction that happens where whenever you crouch behind something, you press the spacebar to stand up and your character is stuck in crouch position. Whenever you back away from the cover, it makes you jump automatically. It's like the key press was still input because the character didn't stand like they were supposed to, but instead of standing the character up, it wants to jump because you press the jump button. Like I said, I know this is more of a me issue because I use the spacebar to stand up, but at the same time, it sucks whenever you're behind a piece of cover and you're trying to stand up to try to get position on an enemy, or you just want to peek out of the cover a little bit and not actually just shoot over the cover but stand up behind the cover so that they're not aiming at head level. That can be a huge issue there, and it can throw you up in the air. Then that's where the next point comes in, the auto mantle toggle, which absolutely is something that is needed in the game. If I want to toggle something, I want to do a key press to make that happen. Now, I know that that will eliminate the ability to get into certain cheesy spots on some of the maps when you can't auto mantle, but I'm willing to give up the cheesy spots. I know it's going to be hard to do, but I'm more than willing to give up the cheesy spots so that I can have auto mantle, so that in situations where I do get stuck behind cover and jump, I'm not trying to climb all over it. Like, that gets me killed 9 times out of 10, and I just don't like it. Looking at perks for allies and enemies, of course, is something that would be very helpful and very beneficial for everyone, especially whenever you're playing competitively and also whenever you're playing like single life game modes. Ghost peeking, of course, is something that I absolutely hate, and I know that this is probably a server related issue because on your screen, they're not showing their body, they're ghost peeking, you can't see them, you just see the bullets flying from the cover that they're in, and on their screen, they're peeking out, shooting, dipping back into cover, which should be a thing, and I'm not going to say that ghost peeking shouldn't be a thing. I think, you know, popping out and popping back into cover and taking pop shots at people should absolutely exist, but it shouldn't if the servers can't show that's what's happening. Because if I'm getting ghost peeked on whatever piece of cover it is, whether they're stepping out, stepping back in, or they're popping up behind cover and shooting really quickly, there's no way to counterplay that whatsoever. You don't know that it's coming, you can't see them peek before the shot comes off, so it's very cheap, it's very cheesy, and it needs to be fixed sooner rather than later. Like I said, I think all of these issues except for the auto mantle toggle and the looking at perks and smoothed out covering could be addressed with fixing the servers and also fixing the matchmaking to some extent. More so fixing the servers, because as we've seen and as I've tested myself, the worse that the game is running for you based off of your connection to the server, your connection to hosts and all that kind of stuff, the worse the experience is going to be for you, and it's going to cause a lot of these issues to come up. So I think that if they fix the actual core issue as opposed to focusing on the smaller issues, then it would fix a lot of this stuff for a lot of people. But here we are. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, what did you fill out on the survey? What is the bugs that you would like to see addressed, and the quality of life features that you would like to see added into the game? Be sure to let me know what you think and what you filled out in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Pushing me. I mean,
Never a doubt in my mind.